Hello there. I just got back from a women's retreat, and it's been a few years since I've went. For one reason or the other, mainly because of my youngest son, who is on the spectrum. I just didn't feel like I wanted to leave him for a weekend. Um, but just a couple weeks ago, an awesome dear friend of mine asked me to go, and she's the person who I used to go to the women's retreats with. This one happened to be really close by, and so we went. And it's not a church that I'm even familiar with, but I thought, now's a good time. I've been on an amazing faith journey, and I was actually feeling really good about my faith, but being at this retreat enlightened me a lot. I was around a group of women who, their faith is at a completely deeper level than even mine. And so, there is always room for growth. And that's just me. I love to, always be reading, always be learning. And that goes the same for our journey with the Lord. And so I wanted to just share a little bit about what I've learned. And maybe you could take a little piece away for yourself and to incorporate in your journey. I've been really good about using a prayer journal. And so I have a prayer book that I go into almost every day, and it's just simple like this. And this one's full. But I go in there and I just say my prayers for that day. But over this weekend, the theme of the women's retreat was Draw the Circle. And the book that we were introduced to is a book that I've read by an author that I love. I've read so many of his books, and my husband has read many of his books, but it's called Draw the Circle, and it's by Mark Batterson. So it's an amazing book, but this is the 40-day prayer challenge. So they gave us that book, but then we did a few sessions regarding the circle maker. So drawing the circle. And this is what kind of, and I've read this book, but I never actually got it. Like, okay, so the main thing is to draw circles around our dreams or our prayers, whether it be our finances or whether it be, a friend or a child or a family member who is sick. And then to keep circling them. So keep revisiting those prayers and keep praying over them until they're gone, until they're healed, until your finances have changed, until your marriages are restored or relationships are restored. And so I thought it was amazing. And I know that some of my prayers in my prayer book and my prayer journal are the same. So like I might still be praying over something that I was praying about, 6 months ago. I'm still praying about it. But I never go through the beginning of my book and look over and read, and look at those prayers to see what's been answered, what's changed. How is that miracle, how is that miracle going? And so it was really just a good reminder. I've always tried to be really specific about prayer, but each day, how specific can we be? God wants us to be bold in our prayer. So it was just a really deep retreat. The women were on fire for prayer, and they had testimonies that showed God answering these prayers. And so I just wanted to share that if there's anything that you are struggling with, either small or large, draw a circle around that prayer and keep praying over that prayer over and over and over and over again. There's nothing that God cannot do. So sometimes we think our dreams and our small prayers, our large prayers, that they're too big for him. Nothing is too big or too small for him. So put them out there. Your wildest dreams. You never know. If it is to be in the missions field someday, if it is to be, at the top of an organization leading an enormous amount of people, and that's how you show your faith and everything is in your corporation, then circle those prayers. Circle them and revisit them daily, so that you, until it happens. Faith is a willingness to feel foolish. So God is bigger than any of our problems. Let's not forget that. So that's one of the things that I highlighted here. And then, in your prayer journal, so I've made a new one. The theme, and it almost matches my hat, but it says anything is possible. And I put these little tabs on it. And my tabs are marriage, kiddos, family, so extended family, myself, ministry or business, friends, and church. And so each of those sections, I have my prayer requests in there. And my plan is to go through them each day, or every other day, but each day is my goal, and just pray over those things. So every day until they're answered, until I could cross them off. So I think that the one thing that I thought was cute was anytime you're struggling or you're feeling down or depressed or anxiety filled, stop, drop, and pray. It's huge. We need to realize that we can do that. We can stop and be in prayer at any moment throughout our day. And sometimes we forget. We get upset. We get uptight. We get going in our day and we forget to stop and pray. So let's be intentional about, when we start getting riled up, whether it's with depression, anxiety, whatever it is, feeling overwhelmed with our schedules, let's stop and pray. If there is anything that I can be praying for you for, I would love that opportunity to pray for you. So please just drop me a message or send me a private message, whatever you want to do. I know sometimes it's really personal. But I know a few weeks ago I was posting about Soul Sisters, and I just really feel that this season in my life is for really connecting with women, to really connect with their soul and try and be prayerful for them. So there's many things that us as women might be struggling with, and whether it's our children who are struggling with something as far as, maybe it's school or maybe it's depression or whatever, anxiety, whatever it is. Maybe it's, maybe school is a struggle, just school itself. So whatever it is, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's some of your dreams that you struggle with. How are you going to deal with them? What's the first step? I'd love to pray for you for those things. So send me a message, and I'm just going to kind of keep you up to date on this. So I started this yesterday, day 1. Today's day 2, and I'm just going to kind of keep you posted as to the journey that it kind of reveals to me. If anyone wants to join me in this Draw the Circle for 40 days of prayer, I would love for you to join me. So let me know if it's something you'd want to do, and I'd love to have you. So have a great day.